everyone, welcome back. My name is Andrea and I am the Knitting PT here on YouTube and on Instagram. I post maker self-care reels every other week for crafters, knitters, crocheters, sewers, all like to help you craft pain-free. This is my YouTube channel where I talk about all things yarn and knitting related and my love for fiber. And I also share a wellness tip at the end of every episode. It is the middle of July right now. We are in the middle of a heat wave. I turned my fan off so that the sound wouldn't be muddied up. So I might be sweating a little bit later, so we'll see. I might even change outfits to something a little bit cooler. So yeah, so let's get to it. Oh, and before I get started, everything I talk about, designers, dyers, makers, everything will be linked in the description box below, as well as links to my Patreon, my Ko-Fi, Ravelry, my website, and my Instagram. I also want to put out there really quick, I do virtual maker consults online for anyone who would like a ergonomic consult, posture consult for their knitting or crocheting or sewing. I also do virtual personal training online too, and so you can find that in my website with more information if you're interested. Okay, let's get to it. So today I don't have a ton of knitting to show you, but I have a lot of yarn. As you can see, I had a lot of pre-orders come in the past 2 weeks since the last time I filmed. So we will touch on those beauties later. That's why I'm kind of sitting a little off center today, because I just wanted you all to be able to see it the entire time. Okay, so my first and only FO for this video is what I'm wearing. So this is the fade and lace pullover. I don't know if it's a pullover or tee, or what she calls it. Fade and lace pullover from Joji Locatelli. This is the test knit I've been working on that I wasn't sure if I could tell you all about. This is the first time I did not meet a test knit deadline. To be fair to myself, she never set an actual deadline for us. It was kind of, I think, once a majority of the testers had finished it, she decided to release the pattern. And so I was not one of those. I finished a few days ago. A few days ago? Yes, a few days ago. But it's a lovely top. I'm going to stand up so you can see the whole thing. It is a boxy top, so no shaping at all. And it is written for like at least 10 inches of ease. That is recommended. So I knit size 44 inch, which gives me 10 inches of positive ease. Wait, no. It gives me more than that. It gives me like 16 inches of positive ease, I think. Yeah, I think I knit, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, like size, the 50-inch size. The way that Joji had written up a pattern time was just telling you, according to your bust, what your recommended size was. So this was the size recommended for a bust 34 inch, which is me. This is the second size of the pattern, so it is a size inclusive pattern, I believe, too. It had, I think, like 8 or 9 sizes. But it is, let's see, so my main colors, this main color is Through the Wardrobe Yarn Co. This is Kissed by Frost, and it is fingering weight. And the second, the contrast color, she calls for mohair or suri. I cannot do either, so I use Ching Fiber Veranita, which is a cashmere lace weight yarn. And this is a color Atmosphere, and they play together super well. The Joji's design is originally written for a fade of the fingering weight. I did not have a fade, and I decided I just want to do one color anyway, and I think it turned out really well. It is a little different from what I usually wear. You know, it's like a ton of ease here, which I usually like positive ease, but I don't usually wear something so boxy. I have decided to wear it with my sleeves pulled up a little bit because that helps the bat winging to reduce a little bit. It was sitting really strangely on the sides when I had my sleeve pulled all the way down, which is why, but I quite like it. There's a lot of airflow because there's so much positive ease and because of the lace. But it is still hot for our heat wave here, which is like we're hitting like we're in the 90s like the entire week with a heat index of like 100, which I know coming from Texas doesn't really seem like a lot, but it is much more humid here than it was in Texas where I lived. So for me, humidity really suffocates me. So I'm feeling it way more. Okay, but yeah, it's a really cute pattern, very comfy. Very fun to style. Yeah, you can either dress it up or down very easily. It's very easy to dress up because it's such a classy and elegant design. Anything else I want to say about it? I don't remember. Yeah, I really love it. And I was really excited to finally use the Veronita base for the first time. I have some of it in my stash that I just hadn't had a chance to knit up yet. So this is my first time using it. I do have to say I did struggle a little bit with knitting such fine yarn that is fuzzy. I did have to really slow down my speed a lot to make sure I was really catching the yarn and making my stitches properly. But that was, I mean, it's not a bad thing to have to slow down. But yeah, but I really love it. There will definitely be more projects in my future using the Veronita. And I'm very excited to finally hop on the fluffy bandwagon a little bit. You know, I've been missing out for these past 2 years because I can't do mohair, sorry. I am back. I am now in a linen merino tee instead. If you don't remember, this is from Craft Me Not Yarn Co. and her colorway Cafe on her 90% merino, 10% linen base. And this pattern is the Willa tee. I finished this earlier this year. And it's super lightweight for summer, so it'll be much more bearable for me to wear. Okay. In terms of whips, I only have 2 active ones I'm working on that I will show you. I do have a few more that I need to cast on for test knits. So I'm sure the next episode will be chock full of whips because I do need to cast on probably at least 2 more tests over the weekend and get started on those. First is my test knit for Tori Knits, and this is the Brooklyn Raglan. I've made a good amount of progress since the last time I filmed. So here it is. It is a DK weight pattern, top down raglan. You can see here that I am into the body now. I'm about like 6.5 to 7 inches in, and I started on one of the sleeves too. I decided to do that because I finished my second ball of yarn on the body, and I decided to just, instead of joining the third one here, I decided to just work on the sleeve with the third ball and kind of do that and just kind of switch it up. The sleeves are a textured pattern. And this yarn I'm using is from Woolberry Fiber Co. And this is on the Tweed DK base, and this colorway is Golden Sunset, which is a collective colorway from last fall. I'll give you a close-up look of that. I really love it. I love that the tweed just brings some more extra dimension to it. You can see that it has a lot of that tonal quality to the yarn already, but the tweed also just adds some even more depth, I think. Yeah. Really love it. I'm a little unsure of how it looks against my skin, honestly. I think it'll be okay. This might be, I think this will be my first like truly yellow garment. I tend to shy away from yellows just because as a kid I was kind of told that I shouldn't wear yellow because my skin tone has that yellow undertone. I am in the process of just kind of like breaking out of any preconceptions that I had about what I can and cannot wear. I think it'll be okay, actually. Yeah, you can let me know what you think. Yeah, but I'm really excited to have this done and to have it ready for the fall whenever that happens. It feels like it'll never happen at this point. Yeah. The neckline is a little wide, but I don't mind that at all. Yeah. It's a super cute pattern. The other test knit I've been actively working on is for s.knits Sarah. This is the Alley sweater. I don't really have much of it done. Let's see. I should have spread it onto larger cables so that you can see it a little better. I am starting the color work patterning after finishing the short rows. Let's see, this is the front. There's really not much to show you right now, but I'll show you the back of it because there's more color work to see there. Stretch that out a little bit. Yeah. So the colorways I'm using, this is Eloise, and this is Lake of Shining Waters. Both are also Woolberry Fiber Co. on the DK base. But yeah, I really love how beautiful it is, that contrast between the two. Lake of Shining Waters is a more variegated colorway, as you can see here, so it works really well for color work. Yeah. And this is Lake of Shining Waters in the skein. A very light pinky peach color. Yeah, so I'm very excited to keep working on this and to have it grow. You've no doubt seen a lot of pictures of this already because this is a beautiful colorwork yoke, and all the other testers are much further along than I am. It's not due till the very end of August, so I definitely have time. But yeah, no doubt you already know what that yoke looks like. So, but I am excited to keep working on it and have this also done. Yeah, it's got a wonderful folded over collar, nice and squishy. Yeah, look at that squish. But yeah, I really love that variegation in that colorway. So that is it for what I am actively working on. I think I talked in one of my previous episodes about 2 summer tees, one a tank and one a tee that I was planning to cast on. I've still not cast those on because I keep casting on s.knits instead. I'm thinking I'm going to just throw all caution to wind and just cast them on and just slowly work on them. Yeah. I think I said recently I was not going to sign up for any more s.knits. But in my defense, the 2 I signed up for this week are both due in September. And they're both, they're all from Stash. I did break my Stash rule for one special s.knit, which I will talk about, I guess now. I guess now we'll go into Stash acquisitions, which I still haven't figured out a different name for this section because, again, in my last episode I talked about how the point of me sharing the yarn and the accessories I get is not to make people want to buy it themselves too necessarily. It's really just to share my joy and to share my appreciation for the artists behind this work. Yeah. So yeah, let's just get into it. And so I have a lot of yarn to show you today. So I'm going to start with the yarn I'm going to use for my next s.knit cast on, and it is another Woolberry Fiber Co. And so this colorway, I have shown you this colorway before, but there's something very interesting to tell you about it. So I got a custom dye job of one of the Anne of Green Gables colorways from Bethany from Woolberry Fiber Co. And this is for the s.knit for Amy Scher for the puffed sleeves sweater. And this is a pullover that is inspired by Anne of Green Gables. If you've ever read it, you know that, especially in that first book, she heavily desires puffed sleeve dresses, which are very in fashion at that time. And so to me, it felt so appropriate to have an Anne of Green Gables colorway to use for my s.knit of that sweater. So this is Bosom Friend, and this is on Berry DK Superwash. And I showed this to you all because it was one of the club colorways previously. Come on, focus. There we go. It's this beautiful, Bethany calls it a duck egg blue. So for the sweater itself, Amy had said that a non-superwash yarn would be better just to provide a little bit more structure for the puff sleeves. So I asked Bethany to dye it up for me on her natural DK base. And oh my goodness, it is beautiful, but it blows my mind. And this is the part about dyeing that is so magical to me. So this is Bosom Friend on natural DK, which is a non-superwash merino. It's 20.5 micron, so it's super soft. What I just showed you, you're going to think that looks wildly different, and it does. You can see that's much more muted on the non-superwash base, and that just shows you how, different bases, different kinds of yarns can really take dye very differently. Both are beautiful, but they're definitely different, but that is the beauty, I think, in the magic of hand-dyed yarn. Yeah. So I'll be winding these up today for my testing of that and swatching. I don't always swatch, but for certain designers, I always swatch depending on, if their gauge is new to me or if I'm working with a new to me yarn, which this is. But yeah, so I'm really excited. And this, okay, this non-superwash is so soft. It actually feels softer in hand to me than the superwash DK base. And it probably has to do with the micron count, but it is so soft. I wish you could feel it through the screen, but it is unbelievably soft. And then, so as I'll just show all the woolberry that I've gotten done. This is Swan Lake on the fingering berry merino base. This beautiful natural, not natural, sorry. This beautiful neutral, delicate colorway. I got a sorter quantity of this to make a moonset tee by Ozetta. Yeah, it's beautiful. And I also got the, where is it? The next installment of the Anne and Green Gables Club. So first, this is Raspberry Cordial. These are all on DK. Beautiful plummy purple with some really, see those specks of kind of reddish? Yeah. And then this is the Cuthberts. And I love this one. This gray is so beautiful. This beautiful light gray. Light heathery gray. Yeah. Yeah. So beautiful. I've been really loving the Anne of Green Gables Club from Woolberry. Okay. Alright. I'm going to save what's hanging up here for last. Next, I got the May installment of the Georgia O'Keefe Club from the Red Pansy. And this is based on the Paint to Main Abstraction White Rose. And this is on the DK base. It's beautiful. All these grays and minty greens and speckles of gray in there. It's beautiful too. I kind of wish I'd gotten a sorter quantity. That's okay. I don't need more sorter quantities. Another pre-order that came in was my Mush Club pre-order from Coast to Coast Yarn. And let me show you what I got. So first, I got 3 skeins. I'm just showing you 2, but I got 3 skeins of Parrot Wax Cap on natural worsted. This beautiful, I don't know what to call it, sage green? I don't really know. This is non-superwash merino, worsted weight, 4-ply. And I got with it these 3 colorways, probably for a colorwork sweater at some point. This first one is Pearl. It's beautiful light gray blue. And then this is Shiitake. Look at those beautiful browns in there. And this is Cortinarius. It's beautiful taupey gray. Yeah, so let me hold these all together if I can. These are all non-superwash worsted. As you can see, I am on a natural kick, like a non-superwash kick recently, and also on a tonal kick. I've been really feeling tonals lately. Just really admiring the depth that these indie dyers can get. When I first started knitting, especially when I got into indie dyed yarn, I've lost all my words today, y'all. Sorry. I gravitated a lot towards speckled and variegated yarns just because they were so exciting to me. You know, I'd never seen anything like that in commercially produced yarn. And, you know, some commercially produced yarns, the tonals can be very one-dimensional and very flat. But especially in recent years, I feel like a lot of indie dyed tonals, or semi-tonals as they call them, have a lot of depth to the colorways, and I've been really loving it and really enjoying it. Like you can even see on this one, you can see some of that darker quality in there too. But I just love it. I've been really enjoying tonals a lot recently. Yeah. And I think especially because I've been knitting more garments, it is hard for me to I don't really tend to like the look of highly variegated yarn in garments. I don't really love pooling. I don't love the effect of pooling that much. It's just not for me. And so as I've been knitting more garments, I think that has me naturally gravitating towards more tonal yarns, more light speckles, more light variegation. Yeah, and you know, when I first started knitting, I was heavily a shawl and cowl knitter, so in socks, which for those variegated yarn works great. But yeah, now that I've been knitting mainly garments, I think that's why I'm gravitating so much towards tonals. And you know, just people are making really beautiful tonals these days. They really are. Okay, speaking of people making beautiful tonals, this last bit of yarn I have to show you is my Explorer Knits Ireland collection pre-order that just came in yesterday. And ta-da! So let me explain. I got the entire tonal set, the full tonal skein set, and there are 8 of them here. And I was telling some of my friends in a group chat yesterday, I was like, my struggle is I don't know how I'm going to hold up all of them together to show them on camera together, because they deserve to be shown together instead of one by one. I will also show them one by one, but I wanted to show them all together too in their full glory. And Aro of Aro Knits and Pearls was like, just string them on a piece of yarn or string or whatever and hold them together that way. So it's like, duh. So thank you, Aro, for blessing us with this beautiful knowledge right here. Yeah, so look how beautiful they are all together. Yeah. So let's get into it. Speaking of tonals, Allie makes beautiful colorways, but I especially love her tonals. Her tonals have always been so consistent and so saturated. Like, you know, you don't see any bare patches or anything like that. And they have always been just consistent. Like, I really love them. And they always have so much depth to them too. So I'm gonna now take this off so I can show you two the skeins individually. Okay. All right. I guess I'll just leave them on the string and just show them up one by one. Okay, all right. So first, this is Macross. It's beautiful. I do not know what to call it. It's like a lichen-y green, I guess. Yeah, Macross. Celtic Harp. My tendency to say Celtic because I am a huge fan of the Boston Celtics, but I always have to remind myself in other contexts it's Celtic. So Celtic Harp. This beautiful light goldeny yellow. This is Irish Goodbye. It's a vibrant grassy green. Look at these labels too. These were drawn by Darren, who is one of Allie's employees and also a dye assistant. Darren is awesome. I've met her before. And she's a wonderful artist. This is Ines Moore. A very me colorway, like a muted icy blue. It's not really icy blue, but it's like a muted sea blue, maybe. Sea blue. This is Skellig. And then next we've got Woolly, a beautiful neutral. I'm also really into neutrals lately. And last but not least, this is Woodruff, which is a beautiful, muted, dusty lilac lavender tone. Yeah. But yeah, those are all. Oh wait, no, I forgot one. This is My Guinness, and it is like this beautiful. I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but it is like this beautiful chocolatey brown purple. It's definitely got purple undertones to it. It's really beautiful. Yeah, so this is, let me see if I can get them to cooperate with me. Hold on, open, okay. These are all 8 tonals of the Ireland collection. They're really beautiful. I don't usually get like sets, like full skein sets of anything. I usually tend to get sweater quantities. But for these, like the tonals were also beautiful that I could not pick and choose. And I'm really glad I did this. I do have plans to use them for some projects and mix and match them and that kind of thing. So yeah. This beautiful, lovely hanging bunch of yarn. I might just leave them on the string. Alright, this is not all I got. I also got 2 other sweater quantities. I also got a sweater quantity of fiat. Just this beautiful, and all the tonals I got on cashmere sock, her cashmere sock base, okay? These are all on cashmere sock also. I think knowing how many colors I wanted to get, I decided to minimize a little bit of the financial impact and get sock weight because for me at least, you know, I only need 2 to 3 skeins of sock weight yarn or fingering weight yarn for a garment versus like 4 to 5 for DK. So that was how I was trying to save money. So this is fiat. This beautiful variegated neutral, very, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like muted. It's muted in the most beautiful way. That's fiat. I'm just showing you 2 skeins. I got 3. And then this is Murphy's Brown Bread. This is also so beautiful. It's this cream taupe variegated base with speckles of gold and brown in there. Absolutely beautiful. I have plans for this. These, the fiat is going to be a cumulus blouse. And then the Murphy's Brown Bread, I'm actually planning to hold with Celtic Harp as the contrast for a colorwork sweater. I can't remember the name of the sweater right now. It's one of the Petite Knitters sweaters, not to be confused with Petite Knits, the Petite Knitter. She has some beautiful, lovely colorwork designs, and that I've been eyeing for a while, so I'm going to use this for one of them. I can't remember which one it is right now. Okay, things are getting very tangled. All right, that is it for the yarn, which I know it's a lot. But I also got a lot of stitch markers recently. So first is, I got some stitch markers from Hello Lavender in one of her recent updates. One of the sets I already opened and used. And actually, oh, it's on there. I should show you all. Yeah. So one of them, one of the stitch marker sets I got was the accent stitch markers for her Mush Club pre-order with the, she did a collaboration with Coast to Coast Yarn for that. So I only have one of them on here, so I'll just show you, but these were there were 7 of them. Oh my goodness, cooperate with me. 7 of them. They all were this shape. They just had different colors on them based on the different colored mushrooms. So I can get this to focus a little. Yeah. Yeah, so I got those. And then I also got, this is not, some of these, I think they were called folio beads. And I also got this citrus set, which is so adorably cute. Look how cute that is, and so intricate and small. Reshma always blows me away with how intricate and detailed her work is. Yeah, like I cannot imagine how long it must take her to make these. Like, it really blows my mind a lot. I also got some stitch markers from Knit Boop. These are this is a citrus inspired citrus set here. Little beaded oranges. And this one is a berry set. So cute. And this last set she gifted me because I helped her name this set. She had posted them on Instagram and asked people for name suggestions, and I suggested Lavendaire to Care because Yura, I've noticed, really likes puns, and that was what I came up with, and she picked it, so she sent me a set for free, which was really, really sweet of her. I am a little still in disbelief that she chose my name because I am notoriously very bad at naming things in general. Yeah, but look how beautiful these are. And they're on these rose gold lever backs too. So pretty. So thank you, Yura. And then, last but not least, I got some stitch markers from Denim and Rain from her Seaside collection drop. These are different because these are resin, but she also hand painted them. I'm trying to arrange them on here. Come on. There we go. Look how beautiful these are. So she hand painted that main one with that Seaside. And I think she also hand painted these cards too, which is just such a beautiful touch. And then I also got some stitch stoppers from her. I've been really getting into using stitch stoppers recently. I used to never use them. I used to just cram all my needles onto the cord and then just like hope they wouldn't fall off in my bag. But lately I've been using them more, especially because it's very helpful when you're trying on your garment. It helps your stitches not slide off. Who would have thunk? So I got some more stitch stoppers from Denim Marine also. One of them I'm using already is this yellow set right here. And then this set came with 3. So this is, I'm gonna do this. Hold on, I will figure this out. Here's one. This beautiful hexagonal. And then here is the other one, which are these beautiful sky blues. Yeah. All right. I think that is it for all my acquisitions. Whew. All right, so let's get into the wellness tip for this episode. I wanted to talk today about strengthening and why that's important. So even though our crafting requires us mostly to be still and to be seated, I wanted to say that it is still important to be active outside of your crafting time, and also kind of explain why. So one of the things is about strengthening. I think a lot of people, we tend to gravitate towards stretching when we're feeling discomfort or pain, which is a good instinct to have. But I want to also remind you all that strengthening is also equally important. I think I've talked in one of my episodes previously about why you need stretching and strengthening to go hand in hand together, so I won't necessarily get into that here. But I wanted to also note that strengthening can help because it can help with improving your posture and improving the way your muscles hold themselves and work when you're crafting. For example, if you are sitting a lot and you get a lot of low back pain, you want to be able to strengthen your hips and your low back so that they can help support your body when you're sitting too. So that's why exercise is also just very important, even for our sedentary movements, or not movements, for our sedentary activities. There we go. Well, I have lost it, I'm telling you all. The heat has melted my brain. That's what we're gonna go with. But yeah, and so the same way when we're knitting or crocheting with our wrists and our hands, if you're having some wrist issues or having some wrist pain, not only is it important to maybe ice for inflammation and to stretch, but it's also important to strengthen our wrists to combat what is going on with the dysfunction of the movement of your hands. So for example, when I see my clients who want to be able to knit for longer without pain or without discomfort, one of the things we always address is addressing wrist strength and making sure that our wrists are strong in all the directions that it moves so that it can help control our movements of knitting and crocheting better and to optimize that too. A lot of times pain and dysfunction happens because of an imbalance in strength on opposite sides of a joint. Yeah, so that's my tip for you. If you want some guidance on that, or need some guidance, or just want some extra help with that, I am here for you. You can sign up for a personal training consult or a virtual maker consult, and we can get started on that journey for you as well. I did not mean for that to turn into an ad. Yeah, sorry about that. All right, so that is it for me this week. It was an especially long episode, I think, because I had a lot of yarn to share, but I hope you enjoyed seeing it all, and I hope I brought some color joy into your life. I hope wherever you are, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, that you are staying cool and hydrated in this time, and I hope the Southern Hemisphere that you are enjoying your winter. I am longingly thinking about winter now. Anyway, but I will be back soon, and I'll talk to you guys then. Happy knitting!